Welcome to the Controlling Cash Flow and Credit Club, where we talk home-based business, income shifting strategy, and credit repair with your host Melissa King, my econ, and Tony of the Tony Clopton Show. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and leave us a comment. Now let's do this.
Hey.
Hello, what's up, MK? Are you ready?
I'm ready. As promised, we told the people we were going to be back.
Sure
and
did.
We are back. Hey, everybody. This is Melissa King from the Melissa King, My Econ Show YouTube channel. If you're following me on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up and like the video. Share. Please share. If you following us on Facebook, you can do the same thing. Give us a like, share us out. So we were here with y'all last week. We trying to, get the cobwebs, dust all the stuff off us, and get us back fresh since we've been gone for a minute. So we're an hour early tonight. That let you know we flex. We roll whenever we ready to roll. Am I right?
That's right. Absolutely.
Okay, so we are here to talk finance. I am a home-based business owner. I have been a home-based business owner next month, 9 years. During that time, I have learned how to pay off debt, how to lower my taxable income, how to improve my credit, how to hire my child, all of the things that I needed to know to put me on the right side of the tax system so that I do not owe, and I get to write off a lot of things that are just simply things I was doing anyway. So we're going to fill you in on that. Over here, which way am I? Okay, over here is my partner, Cecil Clopton. Cecil Tony Clopton has his PhD in money. So I'm sure you're wondering what his credentials are. He did not graduate from Harvard. He did not graduate from Yale. He did not even graduate from Princeton. He graduated with a PhD in money from the School of Hard Knocks. It's not hard to get in that school, but it's hard to graduate.
That's right.
As the old folks say, graduate. So, Tony, introduce yourself. Tell them your backstory. They want to know who you are.
Okay, so thank you for having me, Melissa. I am Tony Clopton. I am from a little small town called Courtland, Alabama. Go Chiefs.
Where is that?
Whoever they are right now. We are both from Courtland, Alabama, and I live here in Birmingham. And I've learned a lot of stuff. And I'm telling y'all, I don't have, like Melissa said, I don't have a PhD. I don't have a bachelor's, none of that, associate, none of that. But I'm telling y'all, one thing that I do have is good common sense. Common sense to know if wealthy people are moving in a direction, that's the direction that I want to go. And that's why we're here today, because we learned something from some wealthy people. We plug into a system that educates, and it's like teaching stuff that's not being taught in school or any school. And this is the information that's why people are struggling today. So we want to share what we've learned, share the blessing, because once you get the blessing, it's up to you to share it out. And that's what we're going to attempt to do tonight.
That's right. Hey, J Truth. We already got somebody up in the comments on YouTube. My
Awesome.
partner, J Truth. Let me tell you, one Sunday I was riding back from Georgia, and J Truth followed out with me all the way back. We was live playing all the old school,
Okay.
you know, like 80s, not 80s, more 90s, 2000 hip hop. We had us a good time. So
Okay.
J Truth, thanks for joining us. So tonight, what we want to talk about, okay, so Tony, when I talked to Tony today, I was like, are we still going live? And he was like, yeah. So I'm like, what we gonna talk about? So what we decided was to challenge you guys to have how did you phrase it, Tony? The last 3 months of the year,
Yes.
which are the most expensive months for the average family.
Yes.
Because you see all the little holidays I got going across the bottom. All of those times are coming up, you're gonna be tempted to buy things that you didn't even know you needed. You're gonna be buying gifts, you're gonna be trying to, cook the food, make sure everything is perfect, decorations, all of it. And big business, which we're gonna talk about in a minute, they out there like this. They're trying to grab every dollar you get.
Yes.
And I had the folks playing tug of war with the dollar because, like, a lot of times we don't want to give it to them, but they're strong on it.
They will.
Into making you feel like you need this to do what you got to do.
Hey,
So,
I got a fun fact. I went ahead and Googled, like, for the month of October, it is expected that Americans gonna spend $11.6 billion. I'm talking about in October.
talking about just for Halloween?
Just for Halloween. Another fun fact, they combined November and December. It is expected that people will spend $979.5 billion in the 2 months.
Was that with the M or a B? Million or billion?
Billion with a B.
I didn't get to vote on that because I can't even afford it. So even with the financial climate and the inflation, they're still forecasting that much money.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
People are emotional spenders. Even when they ain't got it, they're going to find some money to go buy a bottle of liquor.
Yeah.
They're going to go find some money just because it's 70% off.
Right. Right. And I ain't gonna lie. I have to balance it out and be like, I have to justify it. Because, a lot of times I go to the grocery store. And, I was listening to Deanna this morning, and she was saying, have we noticed that groceries have gotten cheaper? I was like, you didn't let me know where you shopping at. Because I ain't felt it yet. Maybe it's going to go in waves. It's going to hit us next. Since she in Mississippi, we in Alabama, maybe it's going to come on over here. But right now, my groceries still high. So I will go to the grocery store with one specific thing in mind. But you know how they get you. Buy one, get one.
Free.
Buy two for this and buy. And you know what? They're getting crazy with it because now you got to buy two to get one free.
Right.
I'm like, that either way, but how I justify it, I think about things that I was gonna buy anyway. Paper towels, paper plates. So going ahead and getting it in advance, that's okay. So if that's what we're looking at for spending for the holidays, we can justify some of it. But when they have Black Friday and they selling I don't even know what the going price is now for the big screen TV. That's what everybody used to look for on Black Friday. And you already got TV in every room. But they make you feel like this is a good deal.
Yes.
You don't want to leave this in the store. And you be in your mind, you be going back and forth like, should I? That's why this is a tip, something that I do personally. For the account I have that usually has the amount of money that would allow me to make a big purchase, I don't have no card for that.
I heard that.
They sent me one, I cut it up. I was like, because that way you know, it make me have to mull it over whether it's worth it or not. You know, a lot of times if you sleep on stuff, you even forgot about it the next day.
Mhm.
So, like the account that I get money out of, we ain't purchasing nothing that's over $100. So, that's a quick tip for y'all, in case you wonder. So, what we want to do is challenge you guys to go through the end of this year and not end it being broke, or being not necessarily even broke, but feeling like they took a bite out your ass with all the money you just spent.
Right,
You know,
right.
'cause it's almost like, I hate to compare it to, it's almost like a wedding. You spend all that time preparing for the big day, the money, and then once it's over, yeah, I got a husband now, but you know, I done spent a bunch of money.
Mhm.
So Christmas and the holidays tend to have that same effect on me, or
Absolutely.
used
Yes.
to.
Yes.
So, what we want to do is talk about ways that you can make it through this holiday big business spending money season and not have the regrets.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just to bring that home a little bit, I figured it's been a while since we talked about the 369 strategy. And that's just the basic principles of our business in a quick little spreadsheet. Now I just changed the battery in his mouth, and it's still acting up.
Okay, well, while she pulling that up, if she can, and if she can, we'll just walk them through it. So when me and Melissa both started this business, we realized that it had to be simple, easy, duplicatable. And man, we learned this business off one sheet of paper. Man, one of the multimillionaires opened this up, shared it with us, and it made so much sense. It was like an eye opener for me, and it made me realize it's like, man, this is where all of the money that I thought I was making was going. I was losing a lot of it. And I was like, and I wasn't investing any of it. And I was like, man, okay, now the holidays coming. So the little money that you thought you were saving Monday, like January to September, gone. It could be gone in a couple of weeks, a couple of months, especially when you get to the holiday season, because we know that big business will make you feel like you have to have when you don't really need it. It's like a need or a want. But yeah, Melissa, you got it up?
I got it up. And
Okay.
with you saying that about January through September, let's remember a lot of people look at that second Christmas as when they get their income tax back. So a lot of times people will go into the holidays, not worried about it, but they're already spending money that they haven't gotten yet because
Right.
they're forecasting money they're going to get from their taxes. Well, that
Yeah.
ties right in to what we're talking about.
Mhm.
So, do you want to go over the strategy sheet, or you want me to?
Yeah, hey, we'll take one and then break it down, and then we'll piggyback because I think everybody needs, and they need to hear it, several different ways. And I'm gonna tell y'all, you might not get it all, but I'm gonna tell you, it's people that has made millions of dollars off of sharing this one sheet of paper, because it really solidifies you as a business owner when you can teach it to somebody else, because our company kind of compensates us for sharing this information. And I'm
Right.
telling you, you can literally make a 6-7 figure income if you learn the steps off of this one sheet of paper, right? So Melissa,
Right.
let's take it away to show however you want to do it.
Okay, so this is called a strategy session, guys. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I joined the business in November, but it wasn't until December that I actually went to a meeting. Remember, Adrian Langham did one here in Huntsville,
Yeah.
right? I think it was the day after Christmas. I
It
think.
was right.
And this is my first time actually hearing the breakdown. So they let you know I jumped into business based on Tony explaining some things to me and making me understand that once I get the hang of this, I'm gonna be happy. So it wasn't until really that I started looking at this sheet. So the first thing we did, they did in the strategy session, they told us, there are two things that people work for. The first thing is their current lifestyle, and I don't know if let me see if this slide is on. Did I lose one? Y'all bear with me. Oh crap! I hadn't took it down, didn't
Yeah, it went away.
I? Okay. Because
Now
my computer,
it's
my
kind of
desktop
shaded.
computer is
It's kind
delayed.
of shaded in the blue. Is it supposed to look like that?
It's kind of what now?
It's shaded. Like it. Well, it's probably better on yours, but
Yeah.
it looks like it's blue.
For this one picture, it is a dark background.
Okay. That's
So
good.
anyway, the two main objectives for when you go to work and when you make money. What's the first one, Tom?
So the two main objectives. The first one is you try to make enough money for now. That means you're paying water, cable, necessities, food, stuff that you need every day from day to day. We go to work for that. For you work for your labor.
Right.
Labor making money.
And what is the second one?
The second one is that you want to make enough money to invest for like retirement. You want to make enough money for now, and then you want to make enough money for later. So those are the two objectives that everybody needs or try to meet during their working years.
Right. And one thing about it is, I know for me personally, when I was younger, I was more focused on number one than I was on number two. But for, if when I was younger, I had known to focus on both, I would be in a much better place now. But that's just something generally when you're young, you don't be thinking about retirement. You're like, I got 40, 50 years to work. I'm going to take this money and take care of things right now.
I'm going to take this money and ball while I get it, while I got it. Right.
That too. So, especially, I'm saying this especially for the younger generation, pay attention to this. Now, I'm 50. I learned all of this 10 years ago. Had I known this 30 years ago, I might not even be talking to Tony. He might not even be in my tax bracket for me to have a conversation with him.
I got you.
But unfortunately, I didn't, so I am. So that takes care of the first two objectives, and that was the main objective. So hopefully y'all can see it on your screen. I'm wondering if I can make it bigger. Can you see it good on the phone? Because I can't.
I can see it okay. Yeah.
Okay, J Truth, you good? You see it okay? Anyway, okay. So next, and now we finna come around to the subject tonight. But we talked about two main objectives. There are 4 challenges.
Wait. Remember at the bottom there were 2 things that the government tried to fix because people weren't making the 2 objectives. They wouldn't meet those 2 objectives. They tried to fix it with what they call pension plans and Social Security. Remember that?
Yep.
So y'all think about
this.
this.
Worried about Social Security now.
Yeah. So the reason why Social Security is so big right now is because think about it. Robots are kind of like taking over mainstream. They in the grocery stores, right? They're actually cooking food. They even got a bartender type of robot fixing drinks now. So that means a robot cannot pay into Social Security. That means Social Security going to start shrinking. And if people living longer, that means it won't be no money left in the pot for you when it's time for you to draw your Social Security because you don't have enough people working to replenish it.
Exactly.
Does that make sense? Anybody out there?
And I hadn't really thought about it from their perspective. My biggest thing that I focus on is it seems like they keep taking the age. Because what is the age now? Is it still 65? Or is
I think it's going up because, and you think about it, they want you to die before you get to pull some of the money. So they are raising the retirement age to like the life expectancy like 70 some years old, man. Like who lives to 70, 80 years old? They don't expect you to pull from it.
Right. And see, but you put a different spin on it with you talking about machines doing a lot of the stuff. They don't have to provide a salary for robots or machines. They don't have to provide all of the things that us worrisome employees want, like healthcare, like PTO. They don't have to do that. So that's a good point. If they're not, if you don't have as many people in the workforce adding to the pot, Social Security is gonna be looking pretty sad. That's then you won't have to work until the day before you die to get it.
That's right.
So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I hadn't even thought about it like that. Yeah. So next we're gonna look at the 4 objectives. I mean the 4 challenges. Challenges is just another word for the problems.
Right.
I keep hitting the wrong daggone thing. I keep
So
hitting remove from stage instead of advancing the
it's back.
Sorry. I'm terrible, y'all. Okay. So the 4 challenges. Number 1, and I'm gonna go on past this one because I need to see.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing is inflation. Tony, you want to explain as if you really need to. What
I love. Hey,
is
this is what
inflation?
killing. Hey, look, y'all. Inflation. This is what tearing people pockets up. I'm talking about from the inside out. Inflation. I mean, the lights, water, cable, daycare, gas prices, food. Everything starts to go up, and your paycheck remains the same. It flatlines. That's why so many people are on strike right now because they're going to work to get a check, and the check ain't taking care of the basic necessities of life. It's almost like that's the closest thing to slavery, y'all. And I can tell you, you waking up, you're going to work, you got just enough money for food, right,
Right.
and water, and that's it. And that's a struggle in itself, y'all. So inflation is simply the rising cost of goods and services when your pay remains the same or less.
And that is exactly what I'm feeling right now because, after COVID, a lot of things that went up stayed up. For instance, I hear the housing market is about to take a little bit of a downturn to it, but for the most part, a house that before COVID may have been 150,000 over here is probably like almost 300,000 now. Same
Absolutely.
house.
Right.
The house didn't get no bigger, didn't swell up because of COVID. It stayed the same size.
Right.
But you got to pay more for it. And then, they did the stimulus or whatever, but that was a temporary fix. So if your pay, and which mine did not rise a lot, on the W-2 job. So with the prices going up and my pay not going up, it puts you in a tight, you know?
Right.
So that is inflation. And look, hey, binge thinker, it's good to see you too. That's binge thinker. But we ain't got the 2 regulars, but that's the
Okay.
other one. Binge and J True. Okay, so the next thing is tax.
Ooh.
You want to talk about tax?
You talk about taxes, because man, I'm gonna get on here and start fussing and cussing, and then the live gonna be over. So yeah, you talk about taxes. I think everybody needs to understand what the taxes are doing to your paycheck.
Right. So with taxes, I probably don't need to explain because if you make a check and you see on there withheld, you already know what taxes do. Taxes we refer to as what we call it tax?
Chainsaw massacre.
The massacre. And we call it that because taxes will massacre your paycheck. So for the W-2 worker, and Tony and I are both W-2 workers, and we do the business. But as a W-2 worker alone, they're usually taxing you between 28 and 35% or something like that.
Right.
So that means, the way they broke it down to us one time is if you think about it, they're taking a third of your check. So that would be almost like your salary for the year. If you split the year up, that's what? 444 for the year.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
that would be the same thing. If you think about taxes like this, from January to April, let's say you didn't get a paycheck. You're working for free. That's what is the sum of them taking it out all year is because they're taking a third of your income. So we teach you how with this home-based business to lower your taxable income because not everybody even has to pay taxes. Some of the richest people in the world are exempt from paying taxes because they know about home-based businesses or not necessarily home-based, big businesses, whatever. They know that advantage of it. So when you think about what they're taking out of your check, if you put all of that together, that is a third of what you make in a year, which practically is the same thing as you working for free from January to April and only getting paid from April to December, which is the remaining 2/3 of the year. So, sometimes when people put things in a bigger perspective, it give you that aha moment. Like, I ain't never thought about that. So we already talked about inflation. We've talked about taxes. The next thing is the curse. Ooh. And the curse is debt. So because of the two previous things, because of inflation and because of taxes, you are going to have debt. There's no way around it, to be honest. I mean, everybody's debt amount may not be the same, but we all are going to accumulate debt. So you got anything more to add on to the debt issue?
I want to say this. I said one of the biggest problems that people are having issue with debt is credit cards. You got to think about it. The credit cards are set up for you not to pay them off and to stretch it out. They give you a little minimum payment, and you're actually paying more on the interest. So what they say is interest is the penalty you pay for some things that you cannot afford. So for any major purchases, we know most people can't pay cash for a house or a car or some big ticket. So they're going to attach interest on it, which actually increases the value, not the value, but actually more money that you have to spend out. So you got to think about it. You got to stay away from credit cards, because I know it's a lot of people floating debt through credit cards at 29, 30%, even on some cars. That's outlandish. In our business, we're going to talk about that and how we clean up the mess, clean up the curse, clean up the massacre. So that's all I have for debt. Just try to maintain and lower your credit card limit so you won't have high fees.
Yes, and keep in mind, even though we're going to talk about big business, not only big business, but the banks and the lenders also are out to, it's packaged as, because I just got a call a couple of weeks ago from the bank. You know how it is when you see your bank man, you going to answer that call. So I saw it on there and I answered it, trying to make sure, nobody hacked into my account or something like that. So he called me talking about, I just want to know how I can make your financial life better. Really? So you already know right then, he trying to push some kind of credit card or whatever. And I'm not saying don't take it, but keep in mind, when you get these cards and when you take on this debt, you have that I don't know about y'all, but I have a bad feeling when I'm when I'm paying for, a lot of times people don't think about the payment when they're getting the item because it's something that they really want. But at the same time, when I go buy a car, I get depressed because all I can think about is for the next 4 years, they finna be in my pocket every month. That's right. But Tony brought up a good point. Your credit is the key to making sure that if you do have to use the credit cards, that they're not charging you that outlandish, as he put it, rate. Because, like he said, they're charging you to be able to spend money that you don't have. That's right. And the further you are from having the money or being able to get the money, the higher they're gonna charge you. And right. I'm gonna be honest, it don't make sense to me sometimes, because I'm like, well, if people have a lot of money and good credit, they don't really, not good credit, but if they have a lot of money, they don't really need the card. But that's who y'all want to give it to. The people who really need it, we got to go through hell and high water and pay rates like that just because we don't have the same credit score or the same amount of money as the other people. So it's a little backwards to me. That's just my opinion. Okay, so the last one is what we were really focusing on for tonight's show, and that is big
business. Dun, dun, dun. Let's give them a rundown, because everybody needs to know this is an eye-opening experience, because we realize being in this business that corporate America and the world system strategically put days for you to spend money. And let's give them a rundown, Melissa, so we can hopefully open some people's eyes to how the system is set up to put and keep you in debt. So let's talk about January.
Okay, so starting off with January, obviously New Year's,
New
you
Year's.
know. So then we move on to February, and we got the honey day.
The fake holiday. Yeah, yeah. Cupid in them, tearing them pockets up. Chocolate, roses, hotels, champagne, resorts, vacation. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Wait a minute now. Look, I might not have the right Valentine because some of that stuff you were naming off, I ain't had it. But the whole point is, it's a joint effort to jump in your pocket because they're going to be having specials at your favorite restaurant. You two can eat for this much, and now you got food at home that you could have romantically cooked. But they it's like he said, they putting it out there and getting started working on you early. So now we go on to March. What we got in March?
We got spring break, right?
Spring break.
Not to mention, let's throw in some anniversaries. That's a hot month. Anniversaries and birthdays. Throw them in there, right? Yeah.
So sometimes Easter will fall either at the end of March or it'll fall in April.
Right,
so
there you go.
Run out there, the Cadbury bunny start popping up and
the bunny dropping eggs everywhere. Yeah, the eggs and everything. I still don't understand that. Yeah,
you know, people going all out buying things for that, and then of course, with holidays like Easter, you're gonna be cooking usually a big dinner. So that's something to think about. April. Well, first and foremost, the best holiday in April is my birthday. Okay.
Yeah, birthday. Another birthday. Yeah, I'm getting tore up in April too. I got my mom, my brother, my niece, my nephew. Birthdays go all. Yeah, it's hot.
Exactly. And then is that all for April? A lot of people get married in April. So
April and
that's
May,
a popular month for getting married. Prom. These days prom is it was expensive back when we were younger, but now have you seen all of these big productions they put on just to walk to the car?
They got goats, they got camels, they renting Lamborghinis and man. Woo, Lord have mercy.
So and then so for May we got Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
We got Mother's Day. People graduating.
Yeah, so graduation will be
college. That's gifts, So next we got June. What's June?
June is big for marriage. I got married in June. A bunch of folks got married in June. Got anniversaries. Man, they out there. Yeah.
And summer's just started.
Yeah.
So you're planning your trips to go ahead and get them going for the summer. Let's not forget Father's Day.
Right. Yeah. Don't forget Father's Day. Buy socks, get a hat, something like that. Oh, you can cook. You can cook.
You get a home cooked meal. You don't get to go out. Okay, so July. Of course, 4th of July.
Come on now. Oh, we got Juneteenth. They slid Juneteenth in there on us.
Right, and you notice how conveniently they start having these sales and stuff. People who don't even know what Juneteenth means. Come on in, we giving you buy one, get one free.
Yeah.
All kind of stuff. Don't even know what Juneteenth is, but they know they can get people to spend money.
That's right.
Oh,
so we forgot about Cinco de Mayo. We forgot about Cinco. They got something for them.
Yeah. Well, we forgot St. Patrick's Day too.
Oh man, I forgot about them. Yeah.
Yeah, because let's not forget the liquor people now.
Yeah, they stacking the box.
you got to go get the who bringing the drink, Yeah. So next, we got 4th of July. A lot of people still doing vacations in July. Yeah. August.
Back to school.
Back to school. Whether it's back to elementary, high school, college, whatever.
Back to school.
That in itself is gonna be, and then they throw that little tax-free holiday in there.
Yeah. Spend more money.
Right. And it's like when you hear tax-free, it's almost like you think you're gonna get everything half off.
No.
When you really think about it, depending on where you live, you're getting 8 to 9% off.
Yeah.
Not 50. So, but they package it up to make you want to go on and stock up now, go on and get everything now. So that's August. Then September, we got Labor Day.
Yep.
That's another month. There's a big
Football
old
season.
wedding.
Football season kicked back
Ooh,
up.
how did I forget about that?
Mm.
Because you know, it's a lot of road warriors that hit the road every weekend going to see. Matter of fact, classic weekend is this weekend.
That's right. That's right.
So if
More
you
money,
want,
more money, more money.
I wonder how much. Because usually they'll tell you. Well, I usually tell you afterwards how much money people spent classic weekend. Because the price, if you live there, which Tony still lived there, and when I was there, everything goes up. It costs you more to get in the club.
Yeah.
It costs you more to buy drinks when you get in the club.
Hotels, all of that. Yeah.
Everything goes up. Yeah, because one of my girlfriends was looking for, you know, they're trying to stay at, I think, the Sheraton or one of those hotels downtown, $300 a night.
Mm-mm.
So I'm like, what make the bed sleep better on classic weekend than it do on every other weekend? That the price got to go up that high.
Right.
And it's like they know people are gonna pay it because they know they're sports fans. People are, like you said, emotion. People are staunch A&M or Alabama State fans. They know they can put anything out there, maroon or white or black and gold, and people gonna buy it up.
Right, right.
Snap a bee and a bulldog on it, it's sold. So that goes for August, September, October too, because people are traveling with, you know, more for football than things like to me people do for basketball. But anyway, so where we at now? We right back to where we are, because October is Halloween.
Yeah. Big
so
dog.
Where it used to be when I was a kid, you didn't get no costume. You got that one darn plastic mask with that string around the back.
And it broke as soon as you put it on your face.
And my mama used to call it a dough face. You get your dough face and you go out there with them same school clothes you had on, so everybody know who you are. You ain't fooling nobody. Because back in the day, everybody that went down to Bill's dollar store and got that same mask. So you're going to see it about 30 times. But now it's an industry where people are spending a lot more money. Like they go out and get real costumes now. People have parties, you know, clubs are having, you know, different nights to celebrate. So they figured out a way to get in there and you know, let's promote it this way. And you know, people like to spend money, they like to feel good. So then we're back to November. Of course, November, we got Thanksgiving, we got Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Brown Saturday.
Yeah.
It's a day for everything. And let's not forget too, twice a year, Amazon, because they got me this time. Amazon has their Amazon days.
Right.
For 2 days. And you can go in there and it's all this stuff. I did good this last time because they just had one in October. I think the one they got me on was earlier in the summer, I think, because I didn't order the desk for the office. Now, in this case, I need a desk. So it wasn't like, but in the past, I didn't just order stuff because, it's just gonna be for the day. What do I need? So I'm Chef Boyardee, and I'm in the kitchen cooking all day. I buy a bunch of kitchen utensils and stuff. So it's like that, like you said, they make you feel like you passed up a deal if you don't get some.
Right.
And then we're right back at December, the end of the year. Of course, Christmas and leading up again to New Year. And then you got a lot of people travel during the holidays.
Yeah.
So you're looking at flights, you're looking at car rentals, depending on where you go, whether it's warm or cold, activities when you get there. So it's gonna be all kind of stuff. And then when you get that credit card statement, if you like me, when you go in there and click on it, you kind of look with one eye because you scared to open it up. Because now it's time to pay the piper. The fun is over.
Right.
And it's time to pay. So, you know, like I was saying before, a lot of people kind of factor in that income tax refund and they feel like, well, you know,
I catch up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are the four challenges. So next, this is part of our challenge to you to figure out how to not go broke during these last few months. So that leads us to the solution.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So let's say you don't have a home-based business right now. You are just a W-2 employee. Well, if you were to start your own home-based business, that's gonna open up a whole new world for you. With deductions, uh, how you file your taxes, everything. So let's look at the first one. We call them strategies, but basically you start your business, you put these things into effect right now, and they're gonna help you kind of maneuver through the rest of the year without coming out with your pockets flipped inside out. So the first thing is, and I can't see this real good, Tony, so you might have to help me out.
Okay.
This is the writing small at the bottom. Let me see. So the first thing for W-2, you're gonna update your W-4, right?
Right.
That is the best way to jumpstart working on not spending money. So, like I said, next month will be 9 years for me doing this business. So that lets you know I got started in November at the end of the year. So it is not too late, because everything you do from here forward, that may count as a tax deduction for you, depending on how you work it into your business.
Mhm.
So it says, I can't read it. It says the W-2 employee is usually taxed between, is that 25?
It's 28 to 33. The numbers could go up or down. So our first one is cat. So I can see a little bit better, Melissa.
Right.
The first one is really our cash flow management. It's trying to get you cash flow positive, and it's for employees, people that have a job. And if you don't have a job, we know that you know somebody that do have a job. So you want to share this information with them, because cash flow is what's really keeping people from getting where they need to be financially. So cash flow management is the first thing. We know that if you have a job, you're going to be taxed at a higher tax rate, which is 28 to 33%. Our solution is to help you minimize your taxes, right? Minimize your taxes. Everybody pays taxes, but how much taxes do you supposed to pay? We're going to teach you what the right amount. You don't want to overpay. That's where a lot of people are losing it at. It's like, okay, I'm making this amount of money. I shouldn't give them more than I'm supposed to, because I need my money right now. I need money for water, cable, rent, mortgage. Don't overpay. Wealthy people don't overpay. They pay just enough to satisfy.
Right.
So B is saying, it says minimize your debt. It's like you don't want to continue to use credit cards. You want to be able to establish some type of what they call it, a emergency fund.
Right.
Most people know if you have money set aside, you don't have to use that card because you got enough money to take care of that deal, right? That's C. So C is minimize your expenses. The prime example is you don't need 5 cups of coffee. You can buy your Keurig, right? If you got to have some coffee, go fix it yourself. Go fix it yourself. Why go to Starbucks and pay $8, $9 when you can fix a $2 cup of coffee at home? That's going to save you some money. So that's what our first strategy is to just try to get you a positive cash flow. That's without recruiting. You just making and fixing a common mistake that most people don't know about. And this is what we come in at. We just share information that not only help us, but we trying to help other people understand that we're going to help you save the money that you're losing if you apply these strategies. All right, Melissa.
Okay. So and we can throw in the credit repair right here too, as far as like that'll help you minimize debt. If you work on improving your credit score, a lot of the things that you do have to use a credit card for, you'll get charged a lower interest rate, which at the same time is saving you money. So that comes with our membership. You get the credit do it yourself credit repair kit. So next is the 1099. So a lot of you may already be 1099s. If you are a YouTuber or a content creator that is getting an AdSense, or what is that they get with because Facebook page too.
Yeah.
I ain't got no check yet. But you know, if you are doing that, that is considered a 1099 job. You may be somebody who's doing something like selling Mary Kay, selling Avon, providing some type of service. You have people who have those 360 machines that they rent out to different people. All of these things are bringing you income that you are making yourself. So, and the good part about it is when you're a 1099, the way it works, as a W-2 employee, you work, they tax you, and then at the end of the year, if you overpaid, they give you a refund. If you're underpaid, they give you a refund. If you're underpaid, you got to write that check or set up that payment arrangement. Okay, so the difference with that and 1099 is you get your money up front. You work. I can't read it. What did it say?
You work, you spend, and then you pay taxes at the end.
Right. They're writing too small. So basically, in a sense, what you're doing is you're getting that money now to go ahead and do what you need to do to conduct your business. You need to, let's say you're driving around, you need gas in your car to do your business. So you track your mileage. That's money that you're getting now. Hey, Deanna. Speaking of Deanna, I was just talking about you earlier, and you talking about them groceries that went down. They ain't hit over here in Alabama. What else? Like if you are, what's the more expensive? Say what we're doing right now. I'm using my cell phone to conduct this meeting. That means that my cell phone bill can be partially written off because that's an expense that I'm using to do my business. So this is where you start being able to do all that. And then at the end of the year, whatever you have, that's when you will be taxed on what's left. So it's like you getting it ahead of time. So, right. So we teach you how to invest, how to write off your lifestyle, and right. Then there's always the money you get from business income. Let's not forget about that. Tony mentioned that we get, for sharing the business, we get an incentive when other people decide to join the business. So when Tony was doing it and I was nosing around trying to see what he was doing, and he eventually told me about it and I got started, he received an incentive for me getting started. And as long as I'm still in the business, he still gets, an incentive for me staying in. Same thing goes for anybody who comes in under me. So not only are we teaching you how to manage your money better and get more from your W-2 job, we're showing you how to write off your lifestyle, get tax deductions, and bring in business income just from sharing information.
Right. I'm gonna piggyback off of one thing that people kind of get this mixed up. When you talk about business income, you always want to talk about also the things that you're saving money on. So right. It's not like a physical. Right. So somebody hand you some money. You got to think about if I, let's say I bought, or I went on a trip and I took a vacation and I used travel inside of my business. That hotel may have cost somebody else $100 and I only paid $40. Right. So that's money that you save. So when you look at from a business income side of things, it's not just the money earned, but also the money that you save in this business. And hopefully we'll help dissect it, help you understand it, is that you can lose a lot of money. And we're going to show you how to use that money for your own personal gain by putting it somewhere else, which we're going to go over into what Melissa's going to talk about, investment income. You got to have some money to invest, but if you're losing it here, we're going to show you how to show you how to gain it back and to apply it in another area.
Right. So far we've told you about how to, update your W-4. We talked about business income and the difference between 1099 and W-4. And now let's talk about investing. Like a lot of us do not know basic investing. And I will be the first to raise my hand and say I was one of them. I knew when I started working my job, I always say they say this for the end of the day when you are already tired in orientation. Now they want to talk to you about 401k. Not only are you ready to go, but they're not breaking it down into any format that is going to make you walk away on your first day knowing anything about, 401k. So you just signing something and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, if you just want them to take the basic whatever out, they'll do 3%. They're not explaining to you how if you take more out, it's going to lower your taxable income. It's going to put more money aside for you. They don't tell you about how you can decide how aggressive you want your 401k to be. All of that, all of those types of things. And a lot of people who join our business are actually retired people who are looking for where to put their money, to see results. So it's not always the people that, have bad credit that want to do what we do, or people who are, trying to bring home more money. Some people already got money, but they don't know the investment part of it. So joining this business for them, they're getting the investment education. Now, it's important for you to know that we don't tell you what to invest in, but they teach you the verbiage. They teach you the definition of different things that you hear. Because I used to be hearing money market and all of them buzzwords you hear when it comes to investing. I didn't know what they were talking about, but because I didn't want to look dumb, I didn't ask no questions, because you don't know what question is going to be a stupid question.
Right.
Like stuff that you should already know. Now that was back then. Now I don't have no problem looking crazy, asking a crazy question, because it may put more money back into my pocket. So don't be afraid to ask questions, and let people know you don't understand. Because if you sit there and pretend like you know what they talked about and you don't, you're the one that's missing out on the money.
Mm-hmm.
So that basically, in a nutshell, is the strategy session. Like we said, we're trying to challenge people. If you do not have a business, you might want to make the investment right now. You can get started today for a startup cost of $19.99. You can, and then if you decide after the first month that this is something that you want to stay in, you will have a monthly fee of $39.95, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's if you do not, we have the travel membership that Tony spoke about. Now, if you want to be a part of that, it'll cost you a little bit more, but it's still, considering how many people travel, especially since the world opened back up after COVID, that is a big thing. What I've heard you say, is it a $1 trillion industry?
Yeah, $8 trillion, $9 trillion industry.
Right. So this business, if you choose to do that, you can get the travel membership that you can sell to other people, or you can take advantage of it yourself. And then, also with the tax training, we're going to teach you how to go on a vacation and do things and make it a business trip as well, where you can take advantage of the deductions from your taxes for having a business trip versus you paying out of pocket, because there are ways that you can combine it and it can be both. Right. So that's something else. So for $19.99, you can get started. Just check out. Now this is the most important thing. That $19.99, as soon as you pay it and put it in the account, it don't mean bring you automatically everything just gonna fall into place. You still have to get in there and decide what strategies are gonna work for you. What you need to work on first. Is credit more important to you first? Investing, like I said, you may not be worried about credit. Maybe you want to invest it. You have to get in and see everything that this membership comes with and figure out how. And you want to do it alone. We have plenty of instructions, videos. You have access to people like myself and Tony. And there's all kinds of ways, but you have to be willing to get in and figure it out. So, over the last 9 years, I've learned a lot, but it was because I also put forth the effort and did the research. But the good part about it is this business is, like Tony always said, is a business in a box. So it comes with everything you need to know in there. Like, you already have the blueprint. So it's just up to you to get in and take advantage of it. But if you never go to the website, you never look in your back office, it's just another $19.99 that you threw away. Mm-hmm. So be invested, because the best investment, and that's usually what we have at the bottom of the screen, the best thing you can invest in is yourself. So having a home-based business is a good way to invest in yourself. Also, if you already have a business, Maybe you just need to learn about the write-offs and the tax deduction. The expense, the $39.99 itself is a tax deduction. We write that off. That's not, so it's almost like, as Tony said in the past, the government is paying you to run a business, because the cost that you're paying to have this business, you will get that back as a tax deduction.
Absolutely.
So if all of this sounds overwhelming, don't worry about it. That's just because we tried to pack everything into an hour.
Hey, screenshot this sheet right here. If anybody wants more information about it, we definitely have websites that will train you to learn it. But this one sheet of paper is really all you need to really get a good understanding of it, and we can help bring it down. We got other products inside of the business, but definitely jump on this business, y'all, because I'm telling y'all the next 3 months is going to be crucial. A lot of people going to be looking for that big income tax check that ain't going to show up. Going to have big credit card debt that ain't going to be able to get paid off. So we definitely want to share this information with y'all to help get y'all on track before all of that hit.
Right. So yeah, if you got any questions, reach out to us, and we're available on every social media: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. You can reach out to us on it, and we will get back to you and answer your questions. Just give it some thought. It's nothing like going into the new year already prepared for the debt that's waiting on you on the other side of that calendar. So it makes a difference when you purchasing and well, I'm gonna write this off. This is gonna be this. This flight, I'm gonna write this off because this is gonna be a business trip. So if you're traveling, there are so many things. We can't pack it all into this one live, but we will be back next week. If you think of something that you want us to go over when we come back next week, you can always reach out to us via social media and just ask questions. We ain't gonna bite your head off, and if we don't know, we're gonna tell you we don't know, and we're gonna find somebody who can help you figure it out. So, Tony, thank you so much for giving up your hour today to come and hang out with me over here. And at what point are we going live? When you gonna do it? Next week, right?
Next week.
Okay. All right. So next week we'll be coming live, and Tony gonna be the host, and I get to be the guest. And I'm gonna do like he do and sit there and look pretty and nod my head. But now, for real, I appreciate you coming through, and we will see y'all next week. Please reach out to us if you have any questions. Now, let me see if I can do better than I did last week when Tony left me hanging up here when I was trying to end this live. I'm up here talking to him. He gone. He didn't. So this time, I'm going to do it correctly. Okay. So, yeah, let me take this down. I did take it down now. Take it down.
Thanks for tuning in. Are you ready to start your home-based business? If your answer is yes, contact Melissa or Tony and get started today.